How do you say I want in Greek?
Θέλω.
Θέλω. And you want?
Θέλεις.
Thelis. And do you want for the formal or the plural? If you're talking to more than one person, you guys want?
Θέλετε.
Θέλετε. Good. So usually we have ete for the you plural. What is I speak?
Μιλάω.
Milao or milo. And the closed version? Milao has its accent on the end, so
Μιλήσω.
miliso. Perpatao was I walk. Perpatao. So we can have perpatao, or you might also hear perpato.
Περπατώ.
So if you hear perpato, you won't know whether this verb uses ite or ate for the plural or formal you, or as or is for the normal you. When we see perpatao, we know that it will use ate for you plural or formal and as for you, because we have the ade in perpatao. But as perpato also exists, you might not notice until you see some other form of the verb. So this is one of these verbs that have a popping up in the present. Perpatao, perpatate, you informal walk.
Περπατάς.
Perpatas. Symphono was I agree. Symphono.
Συμφωνώ.
So this is like with voice, together voice, voices together, like in telephone, the far voice, and symphono, together voice with voice. So that's I agree. You agree, informal, is symphonies, symphonies.
Συμφωνείς.
So by the fact that this one ends symphonies, you can work out that you formal agree, you guys, the you plural, you guys agree would be
Συμφωνείτε.
symphonite. Good. So here we have ite for you formal instead of ete, but the rest of the versions are as we would expect them to be, no, just with that accent on the end. Symphonies, you informal agree, he agrees.
Συμφωνεί.
Good. Symphony, we agree.
Συμφωνούμε.
Symphonume, they agree.
Συμφωνούν.
Symphonon or symphonune. But you guys agree?
Συμφωνείτε.
Symphonite. So just one alternative form with these that have ite. No, that's our only alternative form in the present ite. And when we go to the closed version of the verb, we go back to ete, no, with all of these verbs. So if you say, for example, can't you guys agree? How would that be? So you guys can't.
Δεν μπορείτε να συμφωνήσετε.
Very good. Δεν μπορείτε να συμφωνήσετε. So in μπορώ, we have ite, then μπορείτε. And then with συμφωνώ, because we're using the closed version, we go back to ete. Δεν μπορείτε να συμφωνήσετε. Can't you guys agree on something? And for on something, we can just say to something. So, can't you guys agree on something?
Δεν μπορείτε να συμφωνήσετε σε κάτι.
Σε κάτι. Δεν μπορείτε να συμφωνήσετε σε κάτι. Very good. So se means to, but I guess in some situations it can mean on as well. But this is the thing about prepositions. So prepositions are these odd little words like se, to, ya, for, me, with, apo, from, that show some position or movement. And these little words often don't translate over well from one language to another. In one language, you'll say, can't you guys agree on something? In the other, can't you guys agree to something? And in another, can't you guys agree for something? No, so we want to pay special attention to these and just bear in mind that the one we're using in English might not necessarily be the one we use in Greek. Don't you guys want to walk? Don't you guys want to walk?
Δεν θέλετε να περπατήσετε.
Δεν θέλετε να περπατήσετε. Are you walking? Informal.
Περπατάς.
Περπατάς. Don't you want to walk?
Δεν θέλεις να περπατήσεις.
Δεν θέλεις να περπατήσεις. Doesn't he want to walk? Doesn't she want to walk?
Δεν θέλει να περπατήσει.
Very good. Δεν θέλει να περπατήσει. So we have to pay a little extra special attention, no, to these verbs with their accent on the end. We've seen that they may have A's popping up in the U forms like as, ate, and also alternative versions like ame, ane, or they might just have ite for U formal instead of ete. But when they're in their closed form, then we just use our normal standard endings. So for example, he is walking, perpatai, perpata, he doesn't want to walk, then θέλει να περπατήσει. These verbs with their accent on the end also make their open past in a different way. Give me again, I walk, I'm walking.
Περπατάω.
Περπατάω. And the closed version of περπατάω?
Περπατήσω.
Περπατήσω. And I walked?
Περπάτησα.
Περπάτησα. If you want to say I was walking, we have περπατούσα, περπατούσα.
Περπατούσα.
So we don't do what we usually do for this open past. We don't go from the closed version, περπατάω, just use that. We have this us coming up for these verbs with their accent on the end. So I was walking, περπατούσα. So we have the same sound for the past like always, no, the a, ame, an, etc., es. But we also have this us, and we accent this us. It's always accented. So περπάτησα, we have the accent third from the end, I walked. And then περπατούσα, we have the accent on the us, I was walking. He was walking,
Περπατούσε.
περπατούσε. You were walking, informal,
Περπατούσες.
περπατούσες. I was walking,
Περπατούσα.
we were walking,
Περπατούσαμε.
περπατούσαμε. They were walking,
Περπατούσανε.
περπατούσανε. Were you guys walking?
Περπατούσατε.
Περπατούσατε. What is I love like? You might hear often in Greek, my love, αγάπη μου, and I love,
Αγαπάω.
αγαπάω or αγαπώ. So you said αγαπάω, which means that we've heard this our version, no? We know it exists, which means we know that we have εσύ
Αγαπάς.
αγαπάς, and εσείς
Αγαπάτε.
αγαπάτε. So I loved would be
Αγάπησα.
αγάπησα. I was laughing or I used to love,
Αγαπούσα.
αγαπούσα. I used to love her,
Την αγαπούσα.
την αγαπούσα. You used to love her,
Την αγαπούσες.
την αγαπούσες. We said that we could use ούτε που, like you didn't even, not even, no? So if you want to say you didn't even love her, not even, ούτε που, you loved her. So how would that be? You didn't even love her.
Ούτε που την αγαπούσες.
Okay, will both work. Αγαπούσες, αγάπησες. Here it would just depend on what you had in the mind, no? You know, you weren't even in love with her, something more open, or, you know, you didn't even love her. And other than ούτε που, you can also hear ούτε καν, την αγάπησες, την αγαπούσες.